This is the lecture on linear equations, direct variations, and proportions. One of the forms that we use with linear equations is slope-intercept form. And slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So looking at problem number 1, write an equation in slope-intercept form for the line containing the points 4, -3, and 2, 1. First, you have to find the slope of the equation, which you would have to use the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And that would be 1 minus -3 over 2 minus 4, which is 4 over -2, which is -2. Now you would use any of the points given in the problem and plug it into the slope-intercept form in order for it to solve for the equation, for the intercept, y-intercept. I will use 2, 1. So it would do 1, which is y, equals the slope, which is -2, times the x, which is 2, and then plus b. You're trying to solve for the b. And then that simplifies into y is equal to -4 plus b. And then you add 4 on both sides, which is 5 is b. B is the y-intercept. So the equation would be y is equal to -2x plus 5. Moving on to the second problem, write an equation in slope-intercept form for a line that has a slope of 1/2 and contains a point -8, 3. Now there is another form, it's called the point slope form, and it is y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. M is still the slope, and y minus y1 is the coordinates for the y, and then the x minus x1 is the coordinates for the x. So to put this equation into this problem, you would do y minus 3 is equal to 1/2, which is the slope given by the problem, times x minus -8, which simplifies into y minus 3 is equal to 1/2 x plus 4. Remember to distribute the 1/2 to both where x and -8. This would simplify into y is equal to 1/2 x plus 7. And that is the slope-intercept form. Moving on to parallel lines. If two lines have the same slope, they are parallel, and if two lines are parallel, they will always have the same slope. And all vertical lines have an undefined slope and are parallel to one another. All horizontal lines have a slope of 0 and are parallel to one another. So if you look at this image right here, you can see that the graphs on all three of the lines, they are the same. They are parallel to one another, which means they will never intersect. And if you notice, the slope for all three are always the same. For all three equations are always the same. The y-intercept can be different though. That does not matter in the parallel line. So write an equation in the slope-intercept form for the line that contains the point -1, 3, and is parallel to the graph of y equals -2x plus 4. So -2x plus 4, y equals -2x plus 4. Since it says it is parallel to the graph of y equals -2x plus 4, then you know that you also use the same slope for the equation. So which would be m is, for the second equation would also be -2. And then also in this problem, you can use point slope form, which would probably be faster, but slope intercept form would work as well. And then to find the second equation, you would do y minus 3 is equal to -2 times x minus -1. This would simplify into y minus 3 is equal to -2x minus 2. And if you move the 3 on the other side, you know that the second equation would become y equals -2x plus 1. Now to perpendicular lines. If a non-vertical line is perpendicular to another line, the slopes of the lines are negative reciprocals of one another. Negative reciprocal basically means that if you have a -2, the negative reciprocal would be 1/2. And if you have a slope of 2, then the negative reciprocal would be -1/2. So basically you're multiplying by the negative and putting it under or over a fraction. Parallel lines, they always form a 90-degree angle where the lines intersect. So two lines that would be parallel would look something like this, where they form a 90-degree angle. Write an equation of slope-intercept form for the line that contains the point 4, -3, and is perpendicular to the graph of y equals 4x plus 5. So when you're trying to find the perpendicular to the graph of y equals 4x plus 5, you would, as stated above, use the negative reciprocal of the slope. So the negative reciprocal of the slope, which is 4, would be -1/4. And then you can use point slope form again, which would be faster, to find the y-intercept for the second graph, which if you plug it in to the point slope form would be y minus -3 is equal to -1/2 times x minus 4. So this will be simplified into y plus 3 is equal to -1/4 x plus 1, which is y is equal to -1/4 x minus 2. That is the slope equation in slope-intercept form for the second equation. That is perpendicular to the graph of y equals 4x. The second half of the notes would include direct variation and proportions. Direct variation. The variable y varies directly as x if there is a non-zero constant k such as that y equals kx. The equation y equals kx is called a direct variation equation, and the number k is called the constant of variation. So if you look at number 1, find the constant of variation k and the direct variation equation if y varies directly as x and y equals -24 when x is equal to 4. You would use the direct variation equation, which is y is equal to kx. And then you would substitute 24 for y and 4 for x, which is -24 is equal to k times 4. And then you would divide 4, which gives you -6 is equal to k. The direct variation equation is that y is equal to -6x. A proportion is a statement that two Ratios are equal. A ratio is the comparison of two quantities by division. A proportion of the form A over B equals to C over D can be arranged as follows. A over B is equal to C over D, and A over B times DD equals C over D times BD, and AD would equal to BC. A ratio is the ratios are A over B and C over D, to C over D. Cross product property of proportions is for B does not equal 0 and D does not equal 0. If A over B equals C over D, then AD would equal to BC. The problem: solve 3x minus 1 over 5 is equal to x over 2. You would use the cross product property by cross multiplying, and would be 2 times 3x minus 1 equal to 5x. So this will simplify into 6x minus 2 equal to 5x, and x minus 2 equal to 0, x would equal to 2. You can also check this answer by plugging into the equation, like so. 3 times 2 minus 1 over 5 is equal to 2 over 2. And this would be 6 minus 1 over 5 is equal to 2. 1, 5 over 5, to 1, and then 1 equals 1. So that means the x is equal to 2, and that the equation is true.